As dawn breaks over Uganda's rural landscapes, a new day begins. But for women farmers here, these are the happiest days, as the sound of pigs squealing in meat pens has replaced the silence and despair of failed seasons. There were times when they thought of abandoning pig farming altogether. Every outbreak of illness meant near zero income. Then change arrived. A joint project by PIC, Vetline and Abacus Bio reached their villages. Beyond new technologies, this collaboration brought renewed hope, giving Ugandan women farmers a chance to rise through modern, advanced farming methods. So how exactly has this effort transformed pig farming in Uganda? Let's find out in today's video. At the farm of a woman named Grace, the camera captured a breakthrough moment. She was practicing artificial insemination under the guidance of Vetline's veterinary engineers. Instead of natural mating, processed PIC boar semen, carefully treated and stored in cold preservation, was inserted directly into the sow's uterus using a specialized catheter. This ensures faster and more effective conception. Alongside the new breeding method, Grace follows expert advice to check sow health, track reproductive cycles with simple techniques, and carefully manage pen temperatures to reduce stress, all under Vetline's professional supervision. To keep everything organized, Grace records all data, from insemination dates, number of attempts, to results, into Abacus Bio's Trio platform. This data-driven approach makes herd management far more scientific and efficient. 1. For Grace, this is a true blessing. Her farm was originally built on minimal capital, with very limited infrastructure. Every day, she collected crop byproducts and maize bran to feed her pigs. Her pig pens were basic, simple wooden beams, bamboo poles, or rough brick walls, without modern equipment like climate control systems or ventilation machines. As a result, Grace and many young Ugandan farmers often struggled with poor productivity, weak breeds, diseases, and limited market access. But with artificial insemination introduced by PIC, Vetline, and Abacus Bio, even the humblest farms can now rise by applying just a little advanced technology. At Mary's farm, just a short distance away, the harmony between modern technology and traditional pig care is even more visible. Her pens are divided into clear zones, for breeding sows, piglets, and fattening pigs. In addition to using Abacus Bio's Trio data platform, Mary also invested in 24/7 surveillance cameras across her pig houses. This allows her to continuously monitor health and behavior changes, making management more scientific and efficient. The results? Her pigs grew faster than the old breeds, significantly reducing feeding days and cutting overall costs. According to project reports, within just a few months of rolling out this new technology in rural Uganda, over 1,000 PIC pigs were inseminated across 1,029 farms in 48 districts, producing more than 2,000 litters, with 34% of participating farmers being women, a powerful signal that farmers can reinvest, expand scale, and move beyond subsistence. When pigs reach market weight, Ugandan farmers bring them to licensed slaughter facilities where every step follows strict procedures. First, pigs undergo a full health check to ensure no signs of illness. Disinfection systems are in place to maintain hygiene and prevent cross-contamination. The meat is then processed, cut into portions, chilled rapidly to preserve natural freshness, and vacuum packed according to international food safety standards. Thanks to PIC genetics, the pork now shows a clear difference: leaner cuts, firmer texture, richer flavor, and higher levels of protein, iron, zinc, and vitamin B12. No wonder PIC pork has become a favorite on restaurant menus, from Kampala to major supermarkets. Reflecting on this remarkable collaboration between PIC, Vetline, and Abacus Bio, we can envision a future of comprehensive, sustainable development for Uganda's pig farming sector. This project has not only improved productivity but also empowered young women in agriculture, shining through the stories of farmers like Grace and Mary. If you enjoyed today's video, drop us a comment below, hit like, share, and subscribe, and don't miss our upcoming stories. In a world where food safety is becoming an increasingly urgent concern, South Korea, a country known for its strict hygiene standards and advanced technology, is leading the way in building some of the cleanest and most modern food processing plants on the planet. Today, let's take a step inside one of South Korea's most advanced pork processing factories, where every step from slaughtering, butchering, and processing to packaging takes place in a spotless, closed-loop system, controlled down to the tiniest detail. And perhaps, you'll be amazed to discover that the delicious piece of grilled pork belly on your plate was made this way. According to the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs of South Korea, each Korean consumes an average of 27-30 kilograms of pork per year, more than beef or chicken. Among pork products, pork belly, the nation's favorite barbecue cut, accounts for nearly 60% of total pork consumption in the country. In major cities like Seoul, Busan, and Daegu, nearly every street has at least one barbecue restaurant. For Koreans, eating grilled pork is more than a meal, it's a tradition. It happens during holidays, on dates, company gatherings, birthdays, or simply as a way to unwind after a long day at work. With such massive demand, Korea's pork farming and processing industry has seen heavy investment, ensuring products are not only safe and efficient but also exceptionally fresh from farm to table. As you can see, inside these factories, biosecurity starts right at the door, almost to a perfect degree. Before entering the production line, every employee must undergo thorough disinfection, changing into sterilized protective gear from head to toe, passing through high-pressure air showers to eliminate dust, disinfecting hands using UV light and medical-grade sanitizers. And it doesn't stop there. Air inside the facility is strictly controlled for temperature, humidity, and pressure to prevent bacteria, dust, and odors from spreading between zones. A standout feature of pork processing in South Korea is its strict adherence to humane slaughter practices, following standards set by the American Veterinary Medical Association. Instead of traditional direct slaughter, pigs are gently rendered unconscious using CO2 gas, causing them to lose awareness without pain or panic. From there, bloodletting and cleaning are carried out swiftly using specialized machinery. Thanks to cutting-edge technology, the entire slaughter process happens in an enclosed space, no splattered blood, no screams, and most importantly, the meat is kept hygienic from the very first second. After humane slaughter, the pork moves onto an automated conveyor system for processing. Industrial robot arms take over the initial butchering, separating carcasses into large sections such as half-cuts, shoulders, ribs, and hind legs. Every motion is driven by algorithms based on data like body weight and structure, ensuring perfect speed and accuracy every time. But what truly sets this factory apart isn't just the tech, it's the skilled hands of master butchers. Once the robots complete their rough cuts, human workers take over for fine butchering using traditional techniques, trimming fat, tendons, and skin with razor-sharp blades, slicing pork belly to reveal balanced, beautifully marbled strips, cutting shoulder meat to preserve every firm, intact fiber, categorizing rib cuts, jowl meat, ham, and more according to Korean culinary standards. Finally, the meat is immediately vacuum sealed and transferred into deep freeze storage before distribution. Just picture this: golden, sizzling pork belly on a grill, served with kimchi, fresh greens, garlic, Korean soybean paste, and a chilled glass of soju. That's the iconic samgyeopsal, loved by Koreans everywhere, anytime. Its overwhelming popularity has driven the pork processing industry forward, creating a lightning-fast, high-tech, and incredibly safe supply chain like never before. Delicious pork belly is not only due to the marinade, but also comes from a clear origin, a meticulous cutting process to keep the fat marbling beautiful, and is preserved in the most ideal conditions. Amidst the murky floodwaters that swept everything away, millions of pigs were buried alive in the mud, without even a chance to scream for help. The stench of decomposing animal carcasses filled the air, suffocating and horrifying anyone who came near. This isn't a scene from a dystopian movie, it's the harsh reality unfolding across many parts of the world, from China and Vietnam to Brazil and even the United States. Within just days of flash floods, what remains is a devastated farming sector, the heartbreaking loss of millions of livestock, and a loud wake-up call for the world's food security system. In today's video, we'll dive deep into terrifying statistics, uncover the hidden causes behind these disasters, and most importantly, discuss how we can prevent this from happening again in the future. Over the past 5 years, climate change has reshaped the way we view animal farming, especially pig farming. When the rains pour down, they don't just wash away bridges or homes, they destroy massive livestock farms, wiping out the livelihoods of millions. During the 2020-2021 rainy seasons in Anhui, Hubei, and Sichuan provinces in China, prolonged downpours and dam collapses killed over 1.2 million pigs, suffocating in their pens. Many farms couldn't evacuate their animals in time. Images of thousands of pig corpses floating in the floodwaters became a nightmare, not only for farmers but also for local authorities. In the Philippines, after Typhoon Noru in 2022, over 150,000 pigs died due to sudden flooding. Farms couldn't relocate their livestock in time, water levels rose too quickly, leaving the animals trapped. The damage wasn't just financial, it shattered the trust farmers had in government support systems. Even developed nations like the US haven't been spared. In 2018, Hurricane Florence devastated thousands of pig farms in North Carolina. Over 5,500 pigs were buried alive as rivers overflowed. Waste from these farms mixed into water sources, raising serious environmental and public health concerns. But these cases are just the tip of the iceberg. Millions of small-scale farmers, lacking the resources to report or record losses, go uncounted. The actual number of pigs lost in under a year may well exceed 5 million. To grasp the true severity of this crisis, we must understand how vital the pig farming industry really is. Pork accounts for roughly 36% of the world's total meat consumption, higher than beef and second only to poultry. According to the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, more than 1.4 billion pigs are raised globally each year. This number reflects not just an enormous appetite for pork, but the massive industrial ecosystem behind it, from feed production, veterinary care, labor, transportation, processing, to distribution. In China alone, the world's largest pork consumer, pork makes up 65% of total meat consumption. This overdependence means that any shock, like the 2018 African swine fever outbreak or recent flooding, can have wide-reaching consequences on markets and people's lives. There is no longer any doubt, climate change is the root cause behind the floods that have killed millions of pigs. 2024 and 2025 have brought record-breaking rainfall to Southeast Asia and southern China. Rivers are rising, levees are breaking more often than ever. But it's not just the volume of rain that's frightening. It's the speed and unpredictability of it. Flash floods can strike within 2 to 3 hours, sweeping away everything in their path. Even well-built farms often don't have enough time to evacuate animals. Meteorologists say that extreme rainfall is becoming more frequent as global temperatures rise, disrupting atmospheric patterns and causing unpredictable downpours. Despite warnings issued decades ago, most pig farms are still built in low-lying areas near rivers and lakes, for water access and convenience. This reality highlights how fragile the global livestock system really is. Even a small shift in climate can unleash devastating consequences, not just for farmers, but for the entire global food supply chain. The flood-related pig deaths are not just another piece of temporary news. They are a wake-up call for the whole world. Our food system is far more fragile than we think. And if we don't act now, even greater tragedies are waiting just around the corner. Do you think Japanese people like to eat pork? In fact, according to research, pork is one of the main foods in Japanese cuisine. Therefore, pork farming and processing activities are also very important in Japan. Now, let's explore pork processing plants in Japan to see how they operate. Discover pork processing technology in Japan. Japan has long been famous worldwide for its cuisine and food production processes. Pork processing, with a combination of tradition, modern technology, and strict quality control, has produced high-quality pork products. From the farm to the finished product packaging, everything is automated to ensure clean, safe meat and a distinctive flavor. The Japanese love to eat pork, and the pork processing industry plays an extremely important role in Japan's food economy and culinary culture. According to statistics from the Japanese Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, pork accounts for about 50% of the annual meat consumption, far exceeding beef and chicken. Thus, on average, each Japanese person consumes about 16 to 20 kilograms of pork per year. The pork processing in Japan begins right at the farm. Most pig farms in Japan are closed-loop, with everything from feed rations, water quality, air quality, and even noise monitored by sensors. Pig breeds raised in Japan such as Kurabuta are famous for their tenderness and rich flavor, and are fed natural feed without the use of antibiotics in the final fattening stage. Each pig has an identification number, and is tracked from birth to sale, ensuring absolute traceability. At modern Japanese pork slaughterhouses such as those in Kagoshima and Ibaraki prefectures, the slaughtering process is almost entirely automated. Robots are programmed to perform precise butchering operations, avoiding stress on the animals, which is an important factor in keeping the meat from becoming discolored and of poor quality. After slaughter, the meat is transferred to the sorting line, cut, washed with sterilized ozone water, and then brought to a cold room that meets food safety standards. All tools and machinery are sterilized after each shift. It is not the slaughtering or grading process, but the pork processing process that is the quintessence of Japanese technology and culinary culture. One of the factors contributing to the pork processing industry in Japan is the high-capacity modern technology machinery. All the machinery at each stage is designed with stainless metal and can be used for many years. The use of machinery also needs to ensure the safety of workers and employees. Machinery processes pork more accurately and more productively. A highlight of Japanese pork processing technology is the ability to control the entire cold chain, from cold storage at factories, transport vehicles to supermarkets, and finally to customers' home freezers. Not only does it prolong the freshness of the meat, but it also extends the shelf life of each tray of products. Pork is cheaper than beef and easier to prepare than chicken, making it a popular choice. Fast food chains also have a wide selection of ready-to-eat pork dishes. The Japanese love pork, which is the most common meat in daily life. The pork processing industry is not only important economically but also a part of Japan's culinary culture, technology, and exports. In addition to fresh meat production, Japanese processed meat products such as sausages, cold cuts, smoked pork, etc. are very popular in Southeast Asia, the US, and the EU. Regions such as Kagoshima, Okinawa, and Hokkaido also develop local meat brands to attract culinary tourism. Not only providing an abundant source of food for consumers and playing a role in exports, pork processing plants also create jobs for hundreds of thousands of workers, from factory workers, food technology engineers, to farmers,